Hey guys, today we're going to look at the scenario analysis section under AASB S2. Now, this is, I would say, one of the complicated sections under the AASB S2 because the finance team has never done such an exercise in the past. So it's completely new and it looks intimidating when somebody would start reading the scenario analysis requirement under the AASB S2. So anyone from finance team, when they start the disclosures and they read the guidance, it feels complex. It feels like you need a climate model, external consultants, and detailed forecast. Most teams would be unsure about the level of depth which is expected, and that leads to one or two outcomes. Either the work again gets very overcomplicated or it gets delayed. We have tried to make this tool much simpler. Scenario analysis is a structured thinking exercise. It is not a financial modeling exercise. So treat it more like a thinking exercise. What you need is a clear way to assess how your business responds under different climate conditions and translate that into a disclosure. That is exactly what this tool is designed to do. We start by removing one big decision. You don't need to create scenarios. ASBS2 already defines them. The When I say define them, I mean the minimum requirement. So instead of asking you to design anything, the tool gives you two fixed scenarios. The first one is the warmer world. This assumes the global temperature rises to around 3 degrees, physical risk increases, extreme weather becomes more frequent and more severe. There is limited action out there to control the climate change. The second is a fast transition. This assumes strong action from governance and markets. Warming is limited to around 1.5 degrees to 2 degrees. Regulation tightens, carbon prices increases, and industry shifts quickly. So your job is not to design scenarios, your job is to respond to them. Let's start with scenario one, the warmer world. Before asking you anything, the tool gives you context specific to Australian businesses. You see what the scenario actually means: higher frequency of floods, fires, cyclones, um, rising temperature, increasing stress on assets and people, level rise affecting coastal regions, insurance cost increasing, and some asset becomes uninsurable. This grounding is important because it removes guesswork. You're not imagining impacts, you're responding to defined context. Now we move into the first question: how does this affect your organization? Instead of you uh, Instead of asking you to write freely, we guide you thinking. You select where the impact shows up. Select the relevant field where you see the primary impact on the organization. Is it physical damage to operations, loss of revenue or customers, increase in cost, credit losses, or even new opportunities? You select what is uh, most relevant for your business. Then you explain the impact in your own words. Be specific about which part of business is affected and why. Keep it clear, simple, and specific to your business. The next step is readiness. This is where you assess how prepared your organization is today. This is not about getting the right answer, it is about being as honest and acknowledging the situation as it is. Are you well prepared? Are you partially prepared with gaps? Are you still developing your approach? Or are you in an early stage? You select what reflects your current position. Then you describe what needs to change, what gaps exist in your strategy, what needs to improve, what is still missing. This is one of the important parts of the exercise because it connects your risk exposure to your actual strategy. Now, here is something important to understand. Auditors are not expecting everything to be perfect in year one. They're looking for consistencies. If you have identified material risk earlier, your readiness should reflect that. If there are gaps, you acknowledge them. That is exactly what the standard is trying to serve us. After readiness, we move to actions. This is where you show how uh, what the organization is actually doing, not in theory but in practice. You capture specific actions. It could be risk assessment, changes to the processes, new products, investment decisions, or governance improvement. The key here is be specific and have evidence supporting what actions your organization is doing, what has been done, what is in progress, what is in planned in the future. Even an early stage action matters. They show what direction the company is taking or what the intent is. Then it then comes the evidence. Every answer you provided should be backed um, by something. It could be internal analysis, it could be industry practices, government reports, scientific studies. You don't need to be a climate expert, but you need to show that your answers are based on reasonable inputs. This makes your audit process smoother and your answers more defensible. Now, as you complete sections, something important happens. Your disclosures are built on the right site in real time. You don't wait until uh, you've provided all the answers right till the end. You can see how your inputs are shaping the disclosures. This helps you to refine your answers immediately as you read your disclosures on the right hand side. Once scenario is completed, you move on to the scenario two. The structure is exactly the same. The only difference is the scenario itself. Instead of physical risk dominating, here in scenario two, you are thinking about the fast transition impact, like regulations, carbon pricing, market shifts, changes in demand. You go through the same steps again: impact, readiness, actions, evidence, and then reviewing the disclosure. Stepping back, this tool is solving few key problems. It removes the need to design scenarios. It simplifies scenario analysis into a wizard-based guided question with help text info, help text options, and drop downs. It connects risk to strategy and action, and it builds disclosure as you go. For finance team, this becomes a practical way to approach scenario analysis. You don't need to wait for a perfect data. You basically start with structured thinking. You document your assumptions. You have evidence for each of your answers, and you improve over a period of time. Use this. You can use this as a sandbox environment. Test different responses. Train your team. Understand how scenario analysis actually practically works. My goal here is simple. I want to make tools which will help the finance team to actually implement AASB S2 without needing heavy infrastructure or a dedicated sustainability team. Try it out. If you have any feedback, reach out to me on LinkedIn and tell me how can I improve this tool. Thank you so much for watching this.